Hi everyone, welcome back to TVI episode 172. Second episode of season 2.
Wagwan.
Season 2's up and running, mate.
Season 2's kicked off.
The penultimate episode. How is everyone? How are you?
I'm good, man.
I'm eating a Starbucks vegan pumpkin spice cookie.
Oh, nice. We're not, because you're tight.
You can have a bit if you want.
Really, I wonder what that tastes like on my palate. Can you describe it?
Do you want a bit?
No, I'm all right.
Exactly.
Man. Stick up your fucking arse, man. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it.
We were just briefly, just before we hit record, discuss.
I might try a little bit.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Just eat the whole thing.
About the pumpkin spice. I've never had a pumpkin spice latte. We've got Lucas on the decks today.
Hi, everyone.
And
On the ones and the twos.
on a
Like Spinderella.
waka waka. Well, yeah, you were saying, obviously it's pumpkin. Because it is pumpkin spice season. All the drinks.
It's Halloween, that's why.
Yeah, but I've never had one. Have you ever had a pumpkin
delicious,
spice?
Man.
It's all right, isn't it?
If only I had more.
And I had money to buy my own. Need that Patreon money to come in to get some cookies.
Come on, patreon.com/wearetvi.
Yeah, it's I've never had a pumpkin spice latte. I've mentioned on here before I get really annoyed when loads of young people are in front of me in the queue in Starbucks ordering their fucking weird coffees, all syrups and cream on it and stuff, and it's like I just find it frustrating. I feel like such an old man when I'm watching them. So I'm about to order like literally a black filter coffee. I feel like a fucking 60-year-old ex-cop.
Yeah, and then everyone at my age is ordering like frappuccino.
So many different things with extra syrup. It's like
What are you, Gen Z?
I am, yeah.
What's Gen Z exactly?
Gen Z is
the ones that you sniff around after gigs.
It's the ones that are DM. Are those them ones?
Yeah, they're the vulnerable ones, aren't they?
Gen Z. It's the ones that are roofing. They're Gen Z.
Yeah, they don't struggle much. Yeah, it's after 95, I think. So if you're 25 or younger.
You were born 95, were you?
I was born 2000. I'm 21.
Fucking hell.
Mother of Christ.
I'm sorry.
Why have we got a child on and working?
So you were one when 9/11 happened.
I was, yeah.
No, you weren't born. Oh, 2000. Sorry, yeah.
I wasn't even one. I was 0.
When's your birthday?
24th November.
Right. Fuck.
Yeah, you were. Oh, no, you weren't. Sorry, you're 11 months old.
11 months old.
10 and a half months.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's, you hadn't even had your first birthday. You had to celebrate your first birthday in the wake of 9/11.
Do you remember watching
I think
on the
it's disgusting that you did that personally.
Yeah, I know, it's really...
Should be ashamed of
really
yourself.
Just sitting there shit in your pants while people perish.
Yeah, I dropped a turd when the first tower went down, yeah.
What? So you don't remember it, obviously?
No, because everyone says that, like, they always remember where they were. I don't. I was with my mum, apparently. She told me.
I should hope so.
Yeah.
I was lost in New York.
I was left on a hospital doorstep.
That is so it's 95 to when is there another one now? Like what are the people after you after Gen Z? Does it go back round to A?
Baby.
Millennials is before.
Oh,
so I'm
called
technically a
toddlers.
millennial. So I think a millennial is like 81 or
Because you're
something
vegan.
up to 95.
Oh, I'm a millennial.
Yeah. You so you.
No.
So you mean younger? It's Gen X, I think. It's if you're born after like 2010, then you're
Gen X.
something like that.
So what's
yeah.
pre-millennial then? Old bastard.
Old people. No, it's not. It's, I don't know. Probably boomers, but
Boomers were born in the 60s and 70s, were they?
Yeah,
Oh, right.
baby boomers. My parents are boomers.
Why are they called boomers? Because they were...
born in the boom years of
What?
like
The
the
90
UK.
what the...
That sort of period,
the
like
technology boom or the psychedelic
I think
boom.
just and finance, like that sort of period
They were
where
railed at Woodstock.
post-war, there was a window of like opportunity, I suppose.
The country was getting back together.
Oh no, it's Gen Alpha. If
Alpha.
you're born.
Yeah, mate, that's me. What year is that?
Oh, so it's gone back round now. Is it Gen Z? It's gone back to A.
Yeah,
Alpha.
that makes sense.
Alpha, Beta. Oh, fuck, the Betas are going to be. What a rubbish name that is.
Yeah, everyone born after 2020, I guess, would be a beta.
Oh, you little pussy.
Don't
holes.
have any beta kids, people. Wear
Yeah.
condoms, man.
So yeah. Anyways, that's okay. So alphas, but your Gen Z are the ones that probably get the most shit, aren't they? The ones that everyone says are like the.
They're the punching bag at the moment.
Well, I think everyone's like, oh, fucking, they're the ones banging on about the mental health and
yeah,
sort of.
fucking the planet.
Pull yourself together.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sort
I
of.
don't believe in mental health.
It's all in your
As
head.
your life suggests.
I don't believe in it.
Just have a drink.
So I shit myself.
It's I mean, what I mean by banging on about mental health is, your generation is the one that is very sort of. You're happy. I'm not, and this isn't. This is a massive generalisation, but happy to sort of diagnose themselves on TikTok that they've got ADHD sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, you might have ADHD. Every fucker's got ADHD. Everyone's got ADHD like on some level, and I know that's probably very insulting to people that have got actual ADHD.
Well, the internet has increased it massively, isn't it?
Yeah, but what is that? Is that because people have learnt they've got it, or is it because it's
both,
rotted their brain?
I think so.
I think there's definitely a rotted their brain element.
People are talking about it more. Even my mum's got it now, apparently.
So she's got ADHD.
She
said,
does,
yeah.
Did she tell you that,
funny.
Julian? Yeah.
How old's your mum?
She's happily married.
No, I'm not
Married.
like hitting on her. How old is she? Just curious.
She's 56.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's So how old are you when she was born? 30.
Yeah, she was.
5.
Yeah, she was.
Okay.
30s. Yeah.
My mum was 38, I think, when I was born. My dad was 48.
My
when I
dad was
born.
43 when I was
Was
born.
he?
Yeah.
Did your mates at school say, is that your granddad? You said, no, it's my mum.
I
had a haircut.
Well, I didn't get that because my dad literally never once dropped me off at school. My dad.
I used to get that at school because all my mates' mums were like 15 when they were Adam.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
like, you're just a bit older than us.
Yeah.
And they say, is that your granddad's outside? That's my dad, bruv.
No, I never ever got. My dad never sort of dropped me at school, so no one ever saw him.
My dad rarely did, actually.
But how was your dad older? What was your?
No, my dad was same age. He was 36.
Oh, did they meet at school, did they?
No, they met at Weatherspoons.
Did they?
Yeah. My mum was getting hit on by some guy.
Of course she was.
And it was Julian, actually.
Oh, I remember her, yeah. I'm your real dad.
Yeah, I knew it. It's and then she didn't want to talk to him, so she turned to like the guy standing next to her, and she was like, "Can you pretend to chat to me?"
Oh,
and
that
guy
one.
was my
I
dad.
love that one.
Yeah. So from the start, my mum was using my dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Your dad was there.
She doesn't
with his-
realise your dad had actually played a pincer move with his mate. You annoy her from
And
the
what
other
did your-
side,
What
and
did your dad's wife
I'll
do?
flank.
Your dad was on his stag party.
Yeah. And then a year later, they had me.
Fucking hell, they don't mess around then, did they? Did they get married first?
No, they didn't get married for like 20 years. They got married when I was 13. I was the photographer at
Really?
their wedding.
That's nice.
Yeah, they're cheapskates.
I mean,
Yeah, it's also cost effective,
also your maths was wrong there, but
but it's pretty rare.
they had you after a year of being together.
Yeah.
You were 13 when they got married.
Yeah, sorry, 14 years
Yeah,
after
yeah,
they
yeah,
got
yeah.
married, 15
Yeah,
years later.
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah.
I'm like your maths teacher.
Yeah.
But
You molest me.
that's quite rare that somebody gets to go to their parents' wedding.
Yeah.
You know, obviously some people get to go to their parents' second wedding.
Yeah.
You know, when they've moved on, but it's very rare that you get to go to your parents' wedding. How did it must have been quite nice.
It was all right. It was a very low key thing. It was just in like the
Weatherspoons.
Like the spoons. where they
Back in the
met.
spoons. That old guy showed up again to just sniff
try
around
what-
your mum.
One last hit.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
been playing the long game. What do they do, your parents? You don't have to talk about
I'm
it.
so interested.
Yeah.
My dad is a
I've
child.
never met someone that young before.
Yeah.
Even my kids.
You're the spokesperson for our entire generation.
They're usually in Julian's boot when he meets them.
Exactly.
My dad's a chartered surveyor, so he works in like property.
I was
We know what chartered surveyor is, man.
I got offered
What a
the
man.
chance of training to be a chartered surveyor when I was.
Yeah.
I did my work experience at college as a chartered surveyor, and I quite liked it.
Is that the ones that get like those levels, but they stand in the building sites and they're
Not
measuring?
really.
Stuff?
I mean, there's loads of different types, but the type I did the work experience just going in and you basically start pricing up people's houses. Essentially, you size up all the rooms. You sort of
blag it,
do the layout, and you like talk about how much it's worth based on its sort of surface area and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
And,
you don't talk about the schools and the catchment areas and all these shops local.
No, not really.
Station.
Chartered Survey is more about the actual technical aspects of the house.
Cool.
Well, what it was, what I was doing.
Yeah, it's like land and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Houses. And
So I got a job when I was 19, and they wanted to fund me to be a chartered surveyor. I had to get some official accreditation. And I was like, nah, this is not. But I did like going around people's houses when they weren't in. That was the thing I really liked about it. On the work experience, we just got to go into people's houses.
Shitting in their bed.
Just having a look through their drawers and shit. Because I was like a naughty little kid. And I was with this really creepy middle-aged chartered surveyor who just drove me around South West
And he
London.
would go through their drawers as well.
No, I'd go through the
Probably
drawers.
his
when he
dad.
went. No, this guy was a bit of a creep, man. In hindsight, I remember feeling
Ring any bells?
goes by the name of Stuart.
I remember feeling a bit uneasy with him, like when we were just me and him in a house and in cars and stuff. He was a little bit.
Laying on the bed. Grab a drink for yourself.
Touchy feely. He felt like he liked me a bit too much, and nothing untoward happened. But it just felt now and again like he weren't against the idea.
Yeah.
And did sort of there was times where I was a bit like, I don't really like this vibe that you're giving
Cock
off.
away from my face.
Get my cock out of your hand. So yeah, but
What does your mum do?
My mum owns her own business. She owns a pool cleaning
Only
business.
Pool cleaning?
I heard that. Julian subscribed. Yeah, she supplies a chemical for like pools that's like a chlorine.
Is it called
alternative.
urine?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm ill. Okay, so where are the pools then? Sort of rich areas in London.
Hotels.
So how did she get into that business?
Such an in-depth interview.
No, but she couldn't. I mean, the product must have already been around. Did she
Yeah.
get a job at the company,
She
work her way up, then buy it?
I think she started with a partner, and now
Right.
it's just her.
And then
But
just
yeah, I think she
fucked her
joined in
off.
and now,
Cut her
yeah.
loose.
What did she study at school? Chemistry.
No, she never went to uni.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't do much at school.
Why are you looking for a new business?
Yeah.
Side
Like
hustle.
get involved, mate.
In the swimming pools.
Yeah. Julius wants somewhere to swim.
Yeah,
Gym's
yeah.
a bit expensive.
So it's just a bit of chlorine she sells.
Yeah, that's her whole career. Yeah, thanks. Something like that. No, it's
I
a,
bet there's a lot of coin in that, though, isn't it?
I'm maybe, yeah, but it's like, it doesn't smell like chlorine. That's the whole thing. So that's why pools use it, because it doesn't smell like chlorine.
In my gym, the
chlorine alternative.
jacuzzi is so much chlorine in it, it fucking burns your eyes.
Yeah.
But what
Yeah.
the alternative would just be
I want to put them onto
dirty
your
water.
mum. Yeah, but they could get something good.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
But,
Marvel
okay.
word. Julian's just chilling in the jacuzzi when my mum comes in.
Can she send a bottle here and we'll sample it? Give her a plug.
We had this just reminded me, it's more about bath-based, this, than jacuzzi, but I was on, when was it, Sunday evening or something, I'd had a bath, and a bit of water had gone over the side of the bath
Mid-wank.
while I was thrashing around with my eyes shut.
Well, you were squirming and moaning.
Have I ever told you about when
like Freddy Krueger.
Have I ever told you about when oh god, I once on acid
Had a wank.
masturbated in a bath.
Oh, well, that was profound.
It was insane. But I don't actually know if I'm like I was so out of it. I sort of I think I might have filled in the blanks and thought I was knocking one out. But I think I was so out of it that I might not have been. It might have just been a sort of fever dream. But I was in a bath. I remember just sort of losing my consciousness almost. And then when I came to, like, I was thrashing around and there was water everywhere.
Why did you get in the bath if you were out your nut?
Because I thought it'd be nice. I thought it'd be interesting to try
yeah.
it. And I just almost died. but no. So I got some water on the bathroom floor on Sunday, and didn't realise. Basically, I think I've had to speak to the landlord since, because I think the seals around the bottom of the bath are old, and there's
You've
not
got
much.
seals there. Oh,
Yeah. Because basically my downstairs neighbour's not. I live above this. There's like 5 Indian guys who live in this house.
Oh God.
And
oh, that's not what you meant. Sorry. No. It's great. It's great. Okay.
But like,
Jesus Christ.
But like, it's basically I don't know how they've turned it into a 5-bedroom place. It's just like ours is a 2-bedroom flat. And theirs is the same size below. So I think it's one of them houses where they've really turned it into what do they do? Like in student housing, they just basically put plasterboard between one bedroom to make 2.
Have you been in there?
Well, so I went in, but basically what happened was they knocked, and the guy was so calm about the fact that he goes, there's water coming through their ceiling. But he said it he goes, just so you know, there's a bit of water coming through our ceiling. And I was like,
my wife's just drowned.
But I was like, all right, okay. And I was like, oh shit, there might be a leak. And I was like, can I have a look just so I can work out where it is? I assumed it was going to be below their bathroom. And I went, and there was one. It was in their kitchen. One guy was cooking pakoras, and he gave me one. It was lovely, but literally he's just cooking. What that is. It's like a sort of vegetable. It's like a bhaji basically, but there was just water, just literally just coming through their light fitting. And there was like a puddle of it on their kitchen floor. But I've never known anyone more calm. All of them were just like, oh yeah, there it is, like that, just cooking, like water coming through an electrical fitting. It was like they didn't give a shit. And they basically were just like, yeah, I think there must be some water coming through. I was like,
water and electricity.
How are you all so calm about this? I was running upstairs trying to fucking mop up water. And
what was it from your bath?
So it's seals. So they go, yeah, we got a guy come round, and basically it turns out all the the sealant around the edge of the baths and that to stop any water going through any gaps.
Yeah.
That had all basically slightly eroded. So there's just.
Is it sorted now?
It's not actually been done yet, but since then I have.
You can do that yourself, but it's better if someone who knows what they're doing.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It's a bit of a mess.
I can't be asked to do it myself if I'm honest. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was so funny that they were just like the most laissez-faire.
It's nice to have neighbours like that, isn't it? It could have been coming up threatening and that.
That's what I mean.
You had to put him away.
Yeah, I would have to put him on the street.
Lay him down.
Yeah, so it's nice. They're very laid back neighbours. They always give me food. That's like the third time they've given me food.
Has the diarrhea going all right?
It's very good.
Still shitting water.
I don't actually know. I think they might be. The guy who seems to cook the most of the food in the house, I think, is South Indian. So everything he's given me has been a South Indian food stuff, which is mostly vegetarian and vegan. So actually, it's been very good.
Are they Hindu?
I don't know.
Sikh.
They'd probably be more Hindu if they're South India. I don't remember seeing many Sikhs down in South India.
Hindu are vegan, a lot of them, aren't they?
Well, it depends. There's like Jain Hindus are all vegan, but yeah, a lot of them would just eat meat. Up in North India, a lot of people eat meat. But let's not pretend we know what we're talking about.
No, that's why I've gone quiet. I don't know what food is.
I finished Dharma, all 10 episodes.
I might get on it.
Have you watched Dharma?
No, what's that?
It's
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, the Dharma documentary.
The Dharma. Well, it's not a documentary. It's the biopic. 10-part biopic.
Good actor though, from the clips I've seen.
He's very good. It's very. Where was I up to last week when we did an episode? I think I'd only just started. I was like 3 episodes in. It's fucking harrowing. Like, it really makes you uncomfortable even about watching it. You feel a bit dirty for watching it. But then they get to like episode 6 and 7 and 8 shift perspective to the sort of victims and the people affected by him.
Then and you suddenly into a comedy.
And then you forward through it. But no, they're the ones
the wank bit.
They're the ones that really make you sort of reconsider that you're watching it as entertainment and be like, oh fuck, they're actually proper. You've got to think about the victims and stuff. Yeah. It's really, I really liked it. I thought it was very good. And then it shifts back to like him going to prison and stuff. And he got murdered in prison.
Yeah, by that black guy.
It's just a guy who killed 2 of them. He killed 2 people in one day. Jeffrey Dahmer and just the other guy who was like a murderer as well.
I bet he got because I bet he got kind of props for doing that, didn't he?
I reckon. Yeah, I don't reckon you'd sort of because I think Jeffrey Dahmer was a fucking not just a murderer, like he you know, he was he fiddled like one of them was like one of his victims was 14, and he was a sexual predator as well.
They have the scenes in the film.
No, they do not. Well, not that many sex scenes really.
Oh, I might fucking have a look. I don't know.
Oh God!
Might have a butcher's.
You like it? It's really good and dark, and
I would. Yeah, I did start it. I just fell asleep.
I think you'd really
was
sort
too
of empathise with
It was
him.
too relaxing.
I think you'd really enjoy to sit in the mirror of yourself on screen.
Dude, like, this sitcom's rubbish.
I'm not alone. It's like watching Friends.
Although since, you know, I said it last week, I was like, I'm not really into serial killers. I've never been into serial killers. Don't really give a shit about it.
I love them.
And after the Dharma thing, I watched because the last episode of Dharma has a little bit of crossover with John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
Because John Wayne Gacy was executed the day that Jeffrey Dahmer was baptized in prison.
Clown breader, isn't it?
Yeah. So the last episode cuts and shows a bit of John Wayne Gacy stuff. And I've started watching a documentary series on Netflix about John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, I've probably seen it.
He was a wrong man.
Yeah.
He killed loads of
He
people
was
as
quite
well.
good, like businessman. He had sort of money and
Well, he was like the opposite. Like Dahmer, like Jeffrey Dahmer was a real sort of like nerdy,
like introvert.
introverted, quiet. Like that's
John-
why he sort of like he didn't. You know, he sort of he was the opposite to John Wayne Gacy. He was quite a big character and
Yeah.
Like everyone liked
knew
him.
him.
And yeah,
he was friends with a mayor.
yeah,
and
just
I
like a
used to-
man about town. He's like he really hid in plain sight, whereas Jeffrey Dahmer sort of hid in the shadows. You know what I mean?
Thingy West, Fred West was like that. Everyone knew him in the area. It was
Really?
really like gregarious. Is that the word?
Yeah.
And everyone knew it. When I did that gig in Gloucester,
Yeah.
like there was a lot of people there that knew him, like in the
Really?
community. And that I drove around to his house and had a look.
Just had a look under the patio.
I left my keys there. But the house is down, like been knocked down now because there was too many people going around there. But it's a bit of a cracky road.
What do you mean? What they knocked it down? What? Because people were going to look,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't rebuild a new house or
No,
anything. They're
because
just
it's
going
so
to leave
dark. Yeah, there's no house there.
it. Really?
Cromwell Street.
Seems like a waste of
Good.
space.
Good land.
Well, you know, there's a housing crisis. We need all the sort of housing we can get.
I know, but
Can't
I mean,
pick and choose how many corpses you build them on.
I know, but that is a kind of there's an anomaly in it.
Would
It's
you
not like
live?
that happens?
Would
in
you
every
live in a
town.
house where there'd been multiple
No.
murders?
No.
Why ghosts?
Just, I think energy. I'm not like into too much hoo-ha, but I think there's a vibe and energy.
Right,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
When too much darkness has happened somewhere. You know what I
That's
mean?
why you move regularly.
That's why I change my pants. Just carry a fresh pair. Just throw them bad vibes into the river. But I don't think. No, I wouldn't, unless it was fucking such a. I mean, 10 grand or something.
For yeah.
But you just sell it.
Yeah, I
And
think
don't tell them about nothing.
I think it would be all right, but I just
It would be
it would more be-
scientifically, it'd be fine.
it'd be more in your head, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but there's definitely stuff beyond science, isn't there, that we don't know? And I think there's a vibe thing.
But yeah,
I
but
don't
surely you
believe in
could cleanse
ghosts.
it. You go in there and you sort of just bring some nice energy to it.
Yeah, when we did the ayahuasca, that was next to a graveyard, wasn't it? And I was a bit like, that was in my head, like, that's going to be weird. But it was actually it was nice.
Yeah.
Something really nice about it.
Even though you were scared to go in the woods.
Oh, yeah. I did go in the
You were
woods
scared
for
to
a
go for
wee.
a piss.
I was going for a wee, but all of the trees in front of me, because I was out of our safe kind of ashram,
Yeah.
and I was on my own. It's suddenly you just step out of it. I was out of my fucking nut, and all of the bushes just were eyeballs looking at me, and I just started to chat to them, like try and keep it light. I was going, leave it out, guys. Come on. And I was just chatting. I feel like if you keep it light like that, like almost like you're in a sitcom, and like. There's nothing's bad's going to happen if someone's trying to...
Julian loves chatting to the bush.
Exactly. Just that's the longest piss ever.
Yeah. It was
Scary.
I used to find that. Sometimes when I used to do acid and things, I used to have that. What a moment where I was suddenly in just trees in the middle of nowhere, and I'd sort of had this
Being
moment
thrown
of
out of a van, tied up.
being chased. But no, I used to have like a moment of awareness where I realised, I'm literally in the woods on my own.
Yeah.
You know, this could be a bit fucking dangerous.
Time for a wank.
Can't help yourself.
I think I've got Tourette.
Have you ever done the hallucinogens, Lucas?
No, I haven't.
Well, I mean, I
We'll see.
wouldn't
No.
advise them.
Do you want to buy some, young boy?
No, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't advise it. I think people, if they want to do it,
If they're cool,
do
you
them,
do them.
you might get some good stuff
I
out
thought you
of
were going to
it.
say if you're cool enough.
Yeah, only the cool kids do
No,
them.
man,
mate.
you shouldn't do them.
No, you're all right, mate. Don't worry about it. Don't buy them off me. You're not.
Peer pressure. Will come in next week with a fucking tie-dye t-shirt.
Just
Got
out of his
acid
head.
all
Got
week.
dreadlocks.
With a
I saw-
didgeridoo busking.
I saw a white guy with the biggest dreadlocks earlier on today.
Like proper matted ones.
matted, and he'd like they were up in a sort of he'd rung.
What do they call them?
Trust
Trustfundarians. Trustafarians.
But yeah, he was. I mean, he was in his sort of 50s. I reckon he's been a Rasta for like a number of years. These dreads would have taken.
Do you think he was a
years to-
proper Rasta?
I think he was a. Yeah, I mean, he was even dressed like a
Honky Rasta.
But but like there was so.
I bet
long,
he was
his
well
dreads.
posh though, wasn't he?
They were like he'd wrapped them up into like there was like a cone on his head. It was like sort of that big. Like I'd say the size of like one of them geezers that like guards Buckingham Palace.
Oh yeah,
Like,
soldiers.
but the ones with the big thing on their heads.
Yeah.
He had that, but the dreads.
I used to live next
Fucking
door
hell.
to
Wash your hair, bro.
Next door to one of them. He was it was when I lived on a canal boat, and he lived on a boat as well.
Of
Of course I did. And he his boat stunk, and it was absolutely tiny. And he had about 3 dogs on there.
Stunk of ganja or just
Everything. He had like 3 dogs, 2 birds, some rats. And he always used to, whenever I walked past, he always tried to sell me weed.
right.
It was Julian, actually. He used to
You never
insist-
bought it though, because you ain't cool.
Exactly. He used to. I was like, well, one day I was like, "What's your name?" He was like, "Call me the Wizard."
Oh no, you don't get to give
Just
yourself
say,
a nickname.
nah, what's your name?
Yeah. I'm not giving you the nickname you've chosen. For
Calling you the
yourself.
guy I avoid now.
Called you my smelly neighbour.
Calling you my problem neighbour. Neighbour from hell.
Stinky. It's funny, like, because obviously, I know, like, you can't profile people as a police officer. You're not meant to profile, but if you saw a Rasta living on a boat, even I'd be like, he's probably slinging some fucking
You know,
drugs.
they probably leave him. Like he's probably,
just selling a bit of weed,
doing
innit,
nothing, harming no one.
yeah, exactly. He's not doing anything
Just
worse.
blazing fucking ounce of weed every morning.
You know when you see the boats, it's smoke coming out the chimney. That was all weed.
Just all weed. Had it in the furnace.
I used to go up to a Rasta's house when I was about 13, me and my mates, and we'd just sit in his flat and smoke. Well, Lyndon, his name was. He was a proper Jamaican, thick accent. And we used to just sit there and smoke weed in his house.
I used to go to a few houses like that when I was, and again, like 13. Looking back, I'm like,
He
what?
said he was mates with Bob Marley in Jamaica, and but I don't know if he was. Maybe I don't know.
He's probably lying.
Yeah, do you reckon?
Well,
I believed it at
it
the
could
time.
be true, but I just feel like
Yeah, he's lying, isn't he?
he lives. He was just hanging out with 13-year-olds.
He was a massive guy, though, man. I remember he had smelling salts. Do you remember
Right,
them?
yeah,
Have you ever
I've
tried
never-
them?
nah.
Fucking hell. They fucking hurt.
Do they?
A little 13-year-old nose, anyway.
So what? They're the things to wake you up.
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
faint.
It goes straight into your...
What is it made
like-
of? What is it?
I don't know.
I didn't even. Yeah, I've never even thought about what they are. Just
Don't know,
do
actually.
we know? Is there any way of
Yeah,
googling
yeah,
what
what
smelling
Smelling
salts? Are?
salts.
Someone's already Googled
You
it.
can get...
Mooch is trying to get some.
who ain't Googled that today. But yeah, you can get used to it, because I was just stoned, becoming a bit obsessed with
It's not like poppers. You don't get a high off.
No,
it or
no.
anything.
It's just a sharp. It clear you, but it goes to sharp pain.
Yeah, you can get them on Amazon. It's
Really?
smelling salts are made of a chemical, usually ammonia, that has a very strong smell.
Ammonia.
Ammonia.
That's what piss smells like.
Yeah.
Julian was
Right.
huffing piss.
Wait a minute. Does the bottle look like a toilet?
It's just
I was like,
huffing some Rasta piss.
This is Bob Marley's piss.
It was attached to a big cock.
Just huffing on the end of a willy. Like that.
Smell these smelling salts.
Oh god, it's like a Vicks inhaler. Just holding one of them. You remember the Vicks inhalers and little things you used to?
Yeah. They're quite nice though. Yeah.
They were alright,
Smelling
actually.
salts are like them, but like 10 times stronger.
Okay.
Yeah. Might get some. Be good to
I-
wake up in the morning, wouldn't it?
I suppose.
Just if you can't get up. Or just get up.
Yeah, or just get up. What have you got to get up for, mate?
Just a shower, innit?
Oh, I didn't know it was just something you could just purchase.
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
I'm gonna get
Wave it
some.
under people's nose who've been knocked out, didn't you?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Why is everyone getting knocked out? Who needs
I
that?
think it's for fainting. People who faint.
Ah.
Have you ever fainted?
Me? No, never fainted.
Have you fainted?
I got knocked out once. I was down near the river and I was running up this slope. Like it was quite a long, you know when it's like the water comes over it with the tide, so it's all green and slippery. I was running up it, concrete, and I just didn't get to the top, so I had to turn round.
Oh, no.
And as I run down, I just went up in the air, and all my mates were the other side of the wall, so no one could see me. And I just woke up, and my face was in the sand. And I was all like, I just lost a minute or something. It wasn't for long. I wasn't like out for ages, but I just remember I lost a bit of time.
Yeah.
And I just had my face in the sand at the River Thames.
I don't think I've ever fainted or anything. I'd like to know what it feels like. Obviously, I've been put under general anaesthetic, so I presume it feels like that. But I always find that really nice when I get knocked out and like by anaesthetic.
It's lush, isn't it?
It's so nice.
Yeah.
Like just that when they give you the little count and you're just like.
I've been sparked a little bit when we used to box when we were younger. Just fucking no one knew how to box. We just used to put gloves on and like a helmet and like a boxing helmet and just punch each other. But I remember seeing stars and stuff, like proper little twinkles in my peripherals. Yeah. Then I'll fucking go into violence mode.
Yeah.
And run. Cry.
Call your mum.
Shoot my school up.
We've got loads of stuff on the group to talk through. What should we do first?
Questions from the
there's so many.
Patron
Where
WhatsApp
do I start?
group.
Where do I start?
Patreon.com/WeAreTVI. If you want to be a member of the WhatsApp group, it's £5 a month.
From the WhatsApp group, who would you like? Somebody said who. This was Temazon said, who would you most like to see in a bukkake?
That's when loads of people are wanking off.
So is that people jizzing on another person?
Yeah.
So who would you like to see in one? Like, I suppose the
my wife. Don't have a wife.
I suppose the assumption there is somebody you don't like. If you want somebody, you want to pick somebody.
I presume that anyone in a bukkake's there because they like it, though.
Yeah.
But you want to rape someone? You want someone you don't like to be
jizzed on. I suppose. There's it's as a question. It does open up some a Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see somebody in a bukkake who
someone
really wants to be in the middle.
Yeah, someone who's into it, it's their fantasy in the back of their mind.
Imagine that was your
and they
fantasy.
look just so happy there.
Imagine that was your fantasy, just to be wanked on by loads of people.
Yeah, it is. Are you looking into my brain?
I just couldn't imagine, like, the aftermath would just be horrible.
Have you never had it? No. You ain't cool. That's just for the cool kids. I'm selling tickets.
I've always, not to get too graphic or personal, but I've always, my least favourite part of any sexual experience is always
carrying them upstairs.
It's the aftermath, like when there's
going to the cash point.
It's just when there's a bit of mess. I hate that. That's sort of like
I'm out the door by then.
Sleep.
The curtain's blowing.
Running down through the garden.
I'm on the phone to my wife. I'm buying some flowers for my wife.
I'm calling a Samaritan.
I'm crying and apologising.
She's going, where's the jewellery gone?
I'm telling her I ain't really a millionaire.
Oh, fucking hell. But I think somebody who would like to be in a bukkake, I think is who I'd like to see.
Yeah. Have a good time, guys. Be healthy and responsible.
There was some chat about
and
Kanye.
Film it and send me it.
There was some chat about Kanye West, and then somebody asked that we don't discuss Kanye West because giving it any attention is bad.
I can't help liking him a bit.
I mean, I'm the same. I love his music.
I like
think
the
he's a
way he
genius.
doesn't go with the crowd. Though I think that should be encouraged, even if you don't agree with him or whatever. Which I don't really know what his views are to agree with, but
I also think
like
a
the
lot of his
guy.
views aren't really his views. I think he's a provocateur,
Bit of a troll.
isn't he? Yeah. That whole that wearing that White Lives Matter jumper is such a contrary.
Oh, that's what he did. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing he did last week that made
him, innit?
everyone lose their mind, But I don't think he believes that I think he is just fucking.
I mean, it gets him in the papers, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's his game.
That's his, and he's upset. He really thinks. I think he likes doing that. The art thing, the disruption thing. That sort of, he sees himself as an artiste.
I mean,
of
he is,
not
though,
just a
isn't he?
rapper, not just a producer. So I think he sees all that as part of the art. So he likes to ruffle some
I like
feathers.
that believing in himself to an almost an insane level.
Yes.
I quite like that.
Yeah, but obviously, I do think I can see why a lot of people
Ain't
don't
gonna buy
like
no
him as well.
Yeezys, but he's done well off them, innit?
They look a bit
Bit
weird.
bulky, aren't they?
They're so bulky. I find a lot of that sort of quite expensive fashion, high-end fashion. Balenciaga looks so shit. I always see I see young people who
My
must
daughter's
be
got
well
a pair,
off,
actually.
but they look like they've got club foot.
Yeah. They're like
I mean?
socks they're like sock trays that comes up to about there. Yeah.
Are they really, really fat?
They're a bit, not massively though. There's different ones, I guess, in there.
But and the weird jackets that look like you work on the roads and shit.
Yeah,
Balenciaga, it's like they're taking the piss. I
That's
feel
like Primark have got Greg's stuff now.
I've
haven't they?
seen the Greg's.
Greg's.
I did actually contemplate buying a pair of the Greg's Crocs
Oh yeah.
purely for around the house.
I might get some Crocs, man.
I've got a pair of Crocs.
I used to have some years ago. Then
They are so
people
comfortable.
hated them, but now
They've come full circle. Now they're
Yeah,
hipster trendy.
So I've got
innit?
some sliders. I might get some Crocs.
Just-
mate.
the Crocs are way more comfortable than sliders. And they, you look like a bit of a mental patient. Yeah, I mean that's what
Everyone
they're
knows
for.
what they are now, though. Eh?
that's
So
it.
it just looks all right.
But you do,
Might get some rainbow ones.
Wear them with the wrong outfit though. You look like a nutter.
Wear 'em with my tux.
On the red carpet.
Exactly.
But I wore them out one day with I had a fucking grey jumper and a grey pair of tracksuit bottoms, and I had my white Crocs and a white sock, and I looked like I'd just escaped from Broadmoor. Yeah, I was just an actual nutter on the run. So you have got
Wet patch on your crotch.
of blood. Let's see what else would we. Who would be your ideal Taskmaster lineup?
I have never watched it.
I've never
actually.
watched it
No.
either. Some people, I mean, I don't really watch any I don't really watch any telly on
do
telly
I.
like that. I tend to just watch the odd Netflix thing
Yeah.
that catches my attention. But
I don't actually have it.
I know loads of people that have done it, and it sounds fun.
Yeah.
My wife really likes it.
So they do tasks each week.
Yeah, and it's all
there's
sort of
a
funny
winner.
tasks, and they're all sort of created by Alex Horn, who's really
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
and he's got such a good mind for that sort of stuff. But yeah, I suppose who would be funny to watch try and do some tasks?
I don't know.
You'd want somebody who's shit at it and in a funny way, you know what I mean? Somebody who's a bit
Someone
of a
who's
nutter,
going to cry.
or somebody's going to cry.
Me.
Yeah, you just couldn't do any of the
So
tasks.
frustrated, I just cry.
Julian trying to do the laundry.
Yeah, that
Trying to
would be
wash
it.
my pants.
I don't know. You'd be funny on it.
I'd be great on him. I don't even know it.
Would you be competitive? Would you want
Yeah.
to win?
You might as well if you're in the game, eh?
I suppose.
I would be, yeah.
Have you watched it?
I've seen clips of it, but I've never seen the whole
Right.
episode.
Because I know John Kearns is on the current season.
Oh, is he? I'd like
Yeah.
to watch him, actually. I like John.
He'd be very good at it, I
Yeah.
reckon. Or it'd be fun just put people that don't like each other, or people that wind people up, get into arguments. Put Jeff Innocent in it to wind people up.
Yeah, and a new act.
Yeah. For him to dish out some unsolicited advice.
Love you, Jeff.
Right, here we go. Let's see what else is on the thing. Somebody did say they'd like Jacob Rees-Mogg in the middle of the bukkake.
Ah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, I reckon he'd be into it, though. He looks
Yeah,
them
they're
posh
into
guys are into all
they're
freaky
into
shit,
some
man.
nasty shit, I bet.
There used to be I used to know a dominatrix who used to regularly go to Outside the Box
Regularly
comedy.
go to your house.
Regularly go into my bank account and take some money out. She used to go to Outside the Box in Kingston when I was like one of the resident hosts, and over the years I just got to know her a bit.
There's a comic's girlfriend that's one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we can't say it on air. But
I'll say it on Patreon. He won't mind, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Old Donnelly.
but yeah, she was saying like there's so many like rich businessman types.
They're just they've got powerful jobs, so they need to counter that a bit and have their nuts
put a stiletto down the end of their dick just to make them feel
but she doesn't have sex with them. She just kind of just humiliates them.
Really?
Yeah.
What a fascinating. I could. I would hate that. I don't.
I'm not into that.
I don't want to be humiliated at all.
Nor do I.
I mean, I get enough of that.
I get it already when I get my small bald dick out.
Your little kiddie.
When I come in about 1 second. I don't know where to put my cock. Just wiping it on their leg. All red.
Yeah, I don't really understand the desire.
But sexual fetishes come from like childhood, don't they? Like they're deep. They're a deep thing.
I mean, and we're not psychologists, but where would that come from? Where would
well, if
desire for
it might be
shame.
home for him. He might have got shamed by his mum, and she was fit. He might have got shamed. He might have felt shame. Even, do you remember when we were kids? Like that was almost a phrase for kids when you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
It's such a damaging phrase. You should be ashamed of who you are.
You're right.
No wonder people are fucked up.
That's true.
You should be ashamed of yourself. But I'm not. Should I be? Oh, I should be ashamed.
Yeah.
I should be ashamed of who I am.
Flash forward 40 years, you're getting whipped.
40 years, I'm paying 40 quid and my nuts trod on in fucking Finsbury Park.
Oh, God.
They do it here sometimes. They
oh, yeah.
Well, there's the BDSM parties here, isn't
I've
heard.
Yeah. You're on the guest list, weren't you?
Word on the street.
Work on the door.
No, because I was here doing the gig one night when it was on.
Yeah.
And they'd closed off the main room to build it because it was going to go on overnight. And I was doing
rock time at 7 a.m.
But I went in for a look in the room before it all started.
Of course you did.
And there was some fucking spicy gear like being set up.
Was there?
Yeah, they got harnesses and stuff.
Harnesses, swings, all that stuff.
There was one
mate.
like femdom night where they had like all the men.
Feminine
dominatrix.
Ah, so they're dominating the men.
Yeah, so
okay.
all the women are like with whips and chains and stuff, and all the men had to crawl on their hands and
shut
knees.
up, bird.
All the crowns.
They had to crawl on their hands and knees the whole time. They couldn't get up unless they wanted to go to the
Shit,
toilet.
what if they come to the wrong party? I've got a what? I've got a cake for the...
Sore knees.
Just brought a bottle.
Well, this was a christening.
This is a bar mitzvah.
But yeah, I think it's... I'm fascinated by all that. I don't really understand how people end up with wanting to do that mad shit. Whose comeuppance is most overdue, somebody says. Whose comeuppance? Well, there was a little bit of that sort of with... Phillip Schofield, isn't it? Getting like,
yeah.
I think there's a little bit of like
that was fun.
There was a few celebrities that you're like, I reckon secretly are a bit of an arsehole.
Yeah, I've heard he's a bit of a dick.
Yeah, when you get a bit of a whiff of it, and suddenly people go, actually, you're like, yes, this is probably correct.
That was quite nice.
For the queue thing when he skipped the queue.
Yeah.
And also I saw this morning.
It was their apology, wasn't it? There was a bit fucking dry.
I saw this morning he got like accused of like his boyfriend's really young or something.
Yeah. How young?
The walls are closing in on Schofield.
How young's his boy?
3.
It's 9.
3. Is that young, is it? Yeah. What's the legal age? Not up to date with the law.
He was like,
he said he was 4.
yeah, he was like in his 20s or something. His boyfriend. 25.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not. You know, I mean, it's not the nice. You know, their standards are held a bit high because they're trying to pretend they're the nicest person in England.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, you ain't, are you?
And like, I mean, there is that weird. It's an odd thing that like, you know, he came out and he said he'd hidden it all these years, but he'd been married, he'd had a child.
I do think they should have like thought about his family maybe as well.
Well, this is the thing that it was all he managed to definitely own the whole like I've been living a lie and I'm coming out and this is I'm proudly coming out now.
Fair enough.
But I do think that doesn't just take away from the fact you've been cheating on your wife for all these years.
Yeah.
You sort of, they also are a person that was lied to as well.
Yeah.
If it was just a bloke who'd been banging someone else, a heterosexual guy.
Yeah. He was 21. Yeah, he wouldn't be a hero.
There'd be no positive.
Well, in my eyes, he would be, but not in not in the public.
In the WhatsApp group to be a hero.
Give him a knighthood.
But no, I know what I mean, and I get that it's